so excited. This season of Better Horses has some of the best trainers from all over the nation.
And you know what? We're excited and like to thank Purina for bringing us all the ambassadors that is going to be joining us around the country. And we're even going nationwide here soon.
We need to get the word out that everybody needs to be watching Better Horses. I'm Susie DeRucci.
And I'm Ed Adams. And welcome to Better Horses. In this week's episode, we're going to start off with a new trainer.
Racehorse Dan James from Double D Horsemanship. Dan will be walking us through the Liberty training and the importance of training on the mark.
And then we're going to head over to Arizona, where professional horseman Al Dunning is going to teach us about the importance of conformation with horses.
And Susie, you and I both know the benefits of riding in parades. Well, I'll tell you what, Craig Cameron's going to join us and talk about desensitizing with your horse.
And then we're going to drop down to Sitter Down, where my friend Cal Middleton is doing an all-around horsemanship clinic.
So if you love horses or even thinking about getting into horses, you're going to love this episode. And it's the only horse show on your local broadcast television station, soon to be going nationwide.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
We'll be right back.
In a natural, free-roaming situation, horses graze nearly constantly throughout the day and night. When feeding horses in stables, it's ideal to try to mimic this feeding behavior. Horses in stabled conditions should be fed their hay so they can pick at it continuously between feedings. Visit our website at stanleyforage.com under Nutrition, then Nutritional Resources to help transition your horse from winter to spring in the coming weeks.
Hey folks, good to be with you today. You know, these are trying times that we live in right now. A whole lot of questions and, well, just so few answers to be found. Well, it's no different than in the Bible. There's a prophet named Habakkuk. Oh, I can't wait to meet this character. But he had a whole lot of questions for God himself, and he found no answers. Here's what God said to him. He says, you know what, Habakkuk, if we could go down to Pearl's Cafe and have a cup of coffee, and if you asked me all your questions, and if I answered every one of them, you still would not understand. So just stand back and be utterly amazed at what I'm about to do. So it's our prayer here today at Better Horses that we can have that same attitude. Just stand back. Let God be God. Trust Him. Obey Him. Listen to Him. Follow Him. And let Him give us the answers to all those questions that we have. Hey, this is Steve Stafford. I'm the pastor at Risen Ranch Cowboy Church, a very proud member of the Better Horses family.
G'day, Dan James here from Double Dan Horsemanship, and today we're going to be covering mark training. We're going to show you an insight on how the movie horse industry would use it in order to help horses gallop from point A to point B. We're going to show you some of the benefits that include helping your performance horses and the reasons why that we use it. All right, get ready. G'day, I'm Dan James and I'm here to talk about mark training. So spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about this piece of wood that we're seeing right here. So this piece of wood is called a mark, and the mark training is one of the most essential pieces of our foundation when it comes to training our Liberty horses. But it all starts way back from the movie horses and how that they were able to get horses to run from point A to point B. If you imagine a scene from a film that's one of your favorites from your horse movies of seeing that horse run wild and free as he ran across the beach or maybe through the countryside, more than likely it was done with mark training. We're going to show you today some of the benefits as to why and how that we use mark training. Okay, so I'm going to back off my horse off the mark, I step on it, and then I go to working him right away. So when I'm working my horse on the mark, I'm always standing on it. If I'm on the mark, he's to be moving around me or doing his job. If I hop off the mark, he's to look and to want to take it. I'm going to push him out here a little ways from me. I'm going to look for a change of direction. Then what I'm going to do here initially, guys, is that I'm going to split my whips, step off the mark, and allow for my horse to do it. I'll send him around here a little bit further, step off the mark, help him to find it, and allow him to take it. Okay, the next part that I'm going to show you is that I'm going to back him off my mark again, And this time I'm going to test to see if he actually really wants it, okay? So there I help guide him to the mark. In the next demo that I'm going to show you here, I'm actually going to step just towards his hip. What this does is that it actually tests him to see, are you going to follow me or are you going to take the mark? What I want my horse to do is to take the mark. Both of them would be correct if he was to follow me. That's not a bad thing, but what I really want him to do is to desire this mark. So I'm going to step off there but towards his hip, walk away and allow him to take that mark. Good boy. Go back to it. So you could see there was just a little bit of a hesitation right there in taking that mark. I'm going to step him back off it here. I'm going to give him just a little bit more work here and say, hey, come on, because before we get to our next exercise, we want to make sure that he's nice and tuned up before that we go and run him to our mark. A little more pressure right there. Step off, pop that whip, have him take that mark. Good boy. Okay guys, so two major questions that we always get asked about the mark training. How long does it take? It usually takes us several days to get to the point to where that we've seen Swampy working around, changing direction and getting on the mark. There's several steps in how that we go about presenting it to our horse and building to that point. The next step beyond that is, of course, we start running the horses out in a laneway to help to channel that energy to get them running to the mark. From there, out into the wide open spaces. And of course, also replacing the mark with ourselves or another horse. So before we send our horses to the mark, I always let them know where it is. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to move Swampy around my mark. Then allow him to take it. And this is so that when we take the horses away from the mark, we're going to be running them back to this position, okay? So it's not that we're ever coming out here expecting our horses to be like a hound dog and to be able to sniff it out and find it. They know where the mark is. We lead them away and then we're going to allow him to run back here to us. Okay, so in this part, especially when you're teaching your horses about running to the mark, this is a part where you've got to have a friend, a family member, somebody that's good on your staff that actually likes this part of the job, because they get a lot of exercise in this part of the process. Ooh, steady, steady, steady. Good. Okay, so here we are. We're going to send our Liberty horse running in hard and fast to our horse, our ridden horse. So if you've seen any of my freestyle reinings, this is where you would have seen our Liberty horses or several Liberty horses running in to our ridden horse. So I'm going to cue Avery here. I'm going to turn Swampy loose and have him running on in. So Avery will drop the loop off his nose. She's going to turn him, walk with him just a little bit and send him in here to us. He runs in nice and hard and fast. As he approaches, I step forward. I'll take my whip just over the top here, step forward, wait for him, bring my whip here in front for him to side pass to me. I'll ask him just to back up, to square up and be nice and square here beside my ridden horse. And that's how we go about sending our Liberty horse to our ridden horse. Okay guys, so what we're demonstrating here is that we're working on having a horse run, jump a jump, and then go to the mark. The horse that I have here is Aussie. He's an ex-racehorse, horse off the track that my wife Elizabeth showed at the Thoroughbred Makeover. So what you'll see is that you'll see that I have the rope just here looped around his neck. I still have the halter on. I'm going to get to the end here. I'm going to drop that halter off, turn him and send him on his way down the lane. Take this halter off. I still have it around his neck. That way that as I go to turn to let him go, that if he was to pull or to get a little lost, that I can easily let that go. Good job. Hey guys, we hope that you've enjoyed this segment on mark training. To find out more information about how to train for the mark, go to doubledownhorsemanship.com or attend one of our 5-day Liberty clinics on how that you and your horse can learn and understand the benefits of mark training.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after these messages.
No matter what discipline of riding you do, training, showing, and everyday stress is hard on your horse's legs. Decra Veterinary Products is a leading lameness company that brought you Osphos. Osphos is a clodronate injection, an intramuscular bisphosphonate to help control the clinical signs of navicular syndrome in horses 4 years and older. Ask your veterinarian if Osphos is right for your horse. Decra Veterinary Products is a proud sponsor of The American.
What do you get when you bring together one of the biggest names in veterinary medicine with one of the most caring and committed teams of horse health experts in the industry? You get a vaccine portfolio known for its quality and safety, a pharmaceutical line you can rely on to help manage pain and support performance. You get the products, programs, and people of Merck Animal Health.
It's time to go with United Mosquito and Fly Control's premier fly system for fly control in your barn, providing relief for horses from the stress of fighting flies, and also makes the barn more pleasant for everyone in the barn. Easy, effective, and safe. With United Mosquito and Fly Control, we provide a full service. You as the barn owner don't have to do anything. We go everywhere and take care of everything with our friendly fast service. Call today at 913-558-3814 or email Paul at unitedmosquito.com.
Hi, I'm Al Dunning. Welcome, Better Horses TV, to my almost ranch here in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'd like to talk a little bit about conformation. When I started in the show business in 1970, I showed lots of halter horses. I tried to show those halter horses and everything. I haltered them, I roped on them, I reined on them, I cow horsed, I western pleasured in those days. Today things are so specialized that you have to choose a horse that fits the event. Some of those really pretty horses didn't ride so good. Some of the workmanlike horses rode much better. Workmanlike meaning they were strong, heavy, maybe didn't have the super thin neck or the super big chest or whatever like that. Those horses were more in the middle of the road kind of horses, but they were strong. Those are the horses that seem to perform the best. Today, we're picking out horses for every event specifically, okay? So, like this horse is a cutting horse. I like my cutting horses to be low in the neck, so when he is able to get his head, it's easy for him to get his head down here. It's easy for him to be down here. And he looks good when his neck is down. He's a little heavy in the bottom of the neck considering the halter horse thing, but not considering a good horse. This horse has plenty of flexibility to the neck, as you can see. There's plenty of flexibility in that neck. He has a pretty head. He has nice ears that are forward on his head. He has an attractive look that he can look at that cow and have that bird dog look like this, be low, spread his legs out in front of that cow, and really show some dynamics. That's a cool part. He's not so wide in that shoulder that he can't move that front real good, but he's real mobile in those shoulders. His legs are straight. He's got big bone. You can see the size of the bone on this horse. He's got good bone and good feet, good sized feet, where he can handle that movement and that pushing off with his feet when he's working the cow. This horse has a good set of withers. One of the things that really irritates me is a horse that has no withers. The saddle slides around, it slides forward and back, it does all kinds of stuff. You want on a performance horse, you want a good set of withers for your saddle to sit on, so that saddle stays in the middle of that back where it's supposed to. One of the most important parts of a horse is the loin. You want a strong loin of the horse right here. That is the part that's going to allow this rear end to push up under and work good. And without that, if that's a weak part right there, if this horse has an extremely long back and a weak loin, he's never going to stop the way he should.
This horse has a real deep flank, meaning that, you see these horses where their flank is real high. What happens then is the hind leg movement isn't the same. It's not as strong. This horse carries down in the flank. He has a big, long stifle muscle. He's strong in the gaskin, but not huge, but strong on both sides. His hocks allow his hind feet to get way up under him when he stops. I mean, he can get way up under here when he stops. You can see how flexible this horse is. He has a fairly good length of his hip. From the top here to the point of the croup, he has a good slope to his hip. But he has a big, long, strong hip that can push way up under him when he stops. And this son of a gun can really stop. We can talk about it all day. We can talk about conformation for different things they do. But the one thing you can't tell by just looking at a horse is what's in here. What kind of heart he has. Or what's in here. What kind of mind he has. Those are the two most important things that can overcome just about any conformation fault that isn't an unsoundness. As you go along, try to find the horse that fits the event. Train it right. Think about its mind, what kind of heart it's got, and try to work with that in a positive manner. I'm Al Dunning. You can find me at aldunning.com.
Craig Cameron here, and in this series of videos, I'm going to desensitize and show you how to make a brave horse. Well, good morning, Craig Cameron here, and coming to you from the old Cedar Corral here on the Double Horn Ranch, and just turned this horse loose in here. And I'm not asking him to go anywhere. He's just pretty fresh, but this morning I'm going to do some really interesting work, and it's some work that I do on a kind of an everyday basis, something that would help you and your horses. I think you're going to really want to stay tuned. I'm going to show you some techniques that I use for making kind of a gentle, calm, brave type of horse. So I'm going to expose this horse to quite a few things here without overexposing him. So to just gain his confidence, get him more sure, get him to where he feels safe. So if you have a horse that's nervous and apprehensive and unsure, a little bit spooky, chargy, this is the kind of work that gives them someplace to go, something to do, that's going to relax these horses, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. Hey, I think you're going to like it, and we're going to get started. All right, this not a bad horse here. The lady dropped her off because she wants this horse to be taken further and not be so spooky. Every time she goes to get on, she says she's nervous because this horse is really spooky. He acts like he wants to buck and does buck sometimes. So where I'm going to start is right back at the beginning. But I'm going to show you some great techniques that you can use on an everyday basis. I'm going to show you how to start the horse, and then later on in the series, how you use this kind of work on an everyday basis. So this horse was running around a minute ago. That was wonderful. I like to get the fresh off of him, but I'm going to start now just getting this horse to catch up a little bit. Then I'm going to work again, head, neck, shoulder, rib cage, right down the feet. And then from there, we're going to continue on with a lot of different things. So let's kind of just send this horse off now and start earning some respect. So off we go. And you can see as soon as I did that, boy, that head came up and that horse got a little unsure. So watch, I'm going to just step in front of him here, and just kind of cut this pin in half. And really put this horse to work. Really put this horse to work. Here, put him to work. Where maybe I can gain his attention a little bit and get to where I can, there, here. See, almost, and I'm watching this horse now. Here, good. There. And what am I looking for? I'm looking for a change in this horse. And how do I know when he's getting ready? I'm paying attention, really paying attention to his eyes and his ears, the tilt of his head, his body position, his expression, his demeanor. Is his head up? Is his head down? Or his ears back? Or his eyes just open, not blinking? Is he tight-lipped, not licking his lips, holding his breath? these are the things you need to be aware of. So this pause here, really important. This horse came to me. So that's the whole idea. Teach that horse to catch, earn that understanding, earn that respect. Watching that horse, observing this horse. I'm going to drive him again. Watch how I step into his eye here, and he seems to be a little bit better to the left, which is so common right there because we handle the horses on the left. So I'm going to walk up, put that pause in there where he can think about what just happened. I'm rewarding him for coming to me here, and he wants to keep me, look, in that left eye. When I step over here, he puts his eye over here. He says, I'm comfortable with you in that left eye. So I'm aware of that. You need to be aware of that. Matter of fact, he really blocks me over on this right side. So I'm going to come over here, rub on this horse, pet on this horse, and then I'm going to send this horse off. When I send the horse off, I'm ready to step backwards because a lot of times they'll leave with a kick. So let's see, look at this horse. As soon as I go to work, he gets really nervous here. And I'm going to work on this right side a little bit. I'm going to work on this right side here. I'm just trying to bring that horse to me. Draw that horse to me. Better, just like that. And that's a nice change, and that's a nice start.
Hey folks, don't go anywhere. We've got more Better Horses coming to you right after this from our sponsors.
You care about your animals and feeding them the best. And that's where Purina's local Kansas City dealers step in, providing you experience, knowledge, service, and advice. Purina feed dealers are people who believe in community involvement and who believe in you. They have a passion for the feed industry and are committed to helping customers unlock the potential of every animal. If you are looking for a trusted source for your animals, look no further than your local Purina feed dealer, your partner in animal care.
In a natural, free-roaming situation, horses graze nearly constantly throughout the day and night. When feeding horses in stables, it's ideal to try to mimic this feeding behavior. Horses in stabled conditions should be fed their hay so they can pick at it continuously between feedings. Visit our website at stanleyforage.com under Nutrition, then Nutritional Resources to help transition your horse from winter to spring in the coming weeks.
Hi, I'm Donna. This is Ringo. We're with CSI Saddle Pads. I'd like to invite you to ride our new revolutionary FlexPlate saddle pad. We offer a 30-day money-back, ride it, get it dirty guarantee. And the best part of the pad is it's 100% American-made with American parts by American hands.
We really like them. They contour the horse's back, help your saddle fit real good, and they work on a little flatter withered horse or on a high withered horse. Either one we can make them fit, and horses are really comfortable under them.
For more information, go to csipads.com.
Hey guys, I'm Cal Middleton. Welcome to Better Horses. And today we're here at Lone Jack, Missouri at Sitter Downs, and I'm here in town doing a clinic and just wanted to let you guys know what we're doing here. We're having a fun clinic, you know, it's been fun for me. If you really want to know how it's going, you'll have to ask everybody after I leave town, I guess. But kind of the way that I try to help people with their horses, I've learned a lot of different things over the years and done a lot of different things, but what I try to focus on now is just helping people with practical things and helping people understand what I would call the deeper level of horses, or the deeper level of what you might call horsemanship. So the first day, you know, we started off with a little bit of groundwork. I like to do a little bit of groundwork in the clinics, not because I want people to always do specific groundwork, but I want them to kind of start realizing that everything they do on the ground really kind of relates to, you know, what we're doing. I mean, every time you lead a horse in and out of the barn, every time you lead them in and out of a trailer, a stall, a pasture, you're doing groundwork. So I just want people to at least be aware of that, and more importantly, how that relates to the riding. And that's kind of the biggest piece we want to do. So we also worked on some trailer loading already. We had a couple of horses that have a little trouble with the trailer, and you know, trailer loading is one of those things that's it's overlooked. I mean, it's really easy for a horse to get stuck in not wanting to go in a trailer. So we worked on some of that today.
So I want people to understand the basic of how that works. And when people are ready to lope, I've done plenty of loping, I'm ready to help them with that as well. But I want to kind of make sure that today, some of these folks are brand new. You know, we have people like Kelly who owns the place here and has got a lot of experience and done a lot of things with horses. Then we have people that are just starting out. Maybe it's their first clinic, maybe it's their first horse. And I try to make my clinics accommodate everybody. Now I might have some days where I might say, okay, let's work on trotting into a lope and let's lope a little bit. And there might be somebody that's going, okay, good. Somebody else is going, I've never loped my horse. So I want to make my clinic work for both of those people, not just only one or the other. So today we're probably going to work on some transitions and kind of get things ready for that. We'll probably work on maybe doing things with a little more pep as far as making sure they can stop and get back a little quicker if they need to. So we have to find the balance of those two things, and that's what horsemanship is all about. Getting the job done, but if you always just hurry and get the job done, your horse can get really bracy and pretty soon you can't do that job. There's kind of a balance, and that's what I try to kind of help people with.
Hey, don't touch that dial. We got more Better Horses TV right after this message from our sponsors.
John Deere is known for quality equipment. This quality has created a perception that John Deere is more expensive than other brands. But high quality doesn't mean high priced. The truth from buyers in our area is customers who have purchased a John Deere compact utility tractor saved more than $2,000. Dare to compare us before buying. You and your wallet will be surprised. Nothing runs as long as a Deere, and we'll prove it with our exclusive 10-year warranty. Visit heritagetractor.com/compare to learn more.
It's time to go with United Mosquito and Fly Control's premier fly system for fly control in your barn, providing relief for horses from the stress of fighting flies, and also makes the barn more pleasant for everyone in the barn. Easy, effective, and safe. With United Mosquito and Fly Control, we provide a full service. You as the barn owner don't have to do anything. We go everywhere and take care of everything with our friendly fast service. Call today at 913-558-3814 or email Paul at unitedmosquito.com.
How's your production on pasture? Are profits down? Are weight gains down? What are you going to do about it? Do something cost-effective. Do something that will make a difference. To add the first and proven leader in feed-through horn fly control to your cattle rations, ask for it by name, Alticid IGR.
Hey, thank you for watching Better Horses. If you've missed any of our episodes, you can check us out at betterhorses.com where you can see all our shows.
You can also find us on Facebook or listen to any of our podcasts right from your mobile device.
And don't forget our newspaper coming out 5 times a year, also on the same website.
You're gonna love it.